You and your goddamn humble game, dude. Swear to God.
The humble game wins again. It didn't work last week, but it works this week.
Good thing is, can't be humble any fucking more.
Can't be humble anymore. And you know what? Austin can stop cursing people with his fucking quarters now.
And like the quarter curse.
Hit the
So
music.
powerful.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to the special New Year's edition of the Log Pod.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, everybody. But this is episode 19, the final episode of our season, pretty much. Might have one little recap episode following this, but this will be the final breakdown episode. We made it through all 19, boys.
Yeah, we made it through the season. Some way, somehow, we didn't get canceled throughout the season. So that's good. I think.
I think it'd be pretty hard for us to get canceled, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. Imagine this podcast just randomly blew up for no reason and we got canceled.
Dude, we don't have sponsors to get angry at us, okay? We don't have
That's a joke on
investors
you.
to
This
please.
episode's sponsored by
Audible.
Audible.
Audible.com.
Maybe in year two.
Yeah, maybe we'll start getting paid to do it.
Episode 19, we got our championship week. We got our results, which I know everyone who listens to this is going to be so happy about who won.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we put more emphasis on the toilet bowl this week. I know I've been bashing it for the last 3 weeks.
It's a beautiful trophy.
I think, maybe we put more emphasis on that than our actual championship game, because I know the result of that kind of, makes people upset. And we got some year-end reactions and a little interview with the unfortunate winner again.
Unfortunate
collusion. Collusion. But we'll get right into it. First things first, our championship game. We had the new guy versus barn burners, the new kid on the block versus the old knight that's just sitting on the throne waiting for his next victim. And unfortunately, the old knight won again.
Not only
still
did
has
he
enough,
win,
still has enough skill to swing that great sword and absolutely club down Big Boy.
There it is.
Barn getting the win, 250 to 117. Or sorry, excuse me, 250 to 177. An absolute shellacking.
Yeah. Yeah, he obliterated Big Boy.
Someone finally did it. They brought him down. He felt the pain.
He literally had the same exact season I did my first year. Literally the same exact results.
It's pretty mirrored, yeah.
Although
kind of an odd,
the difference was
thing to
I
look
went
at.
into the playoffs as the 1 seed. That's the only difference. But yeah, no, other than that, it's literally the same exact results. Go into the playoffs, being one of the best teams in the league, get to the championship, and get whacked by Dad.
I hope, hope this is a message to the league. I want all of the team names up until draft to be anyone but Melka Sr. I won't go anyone but Melka because, gotta have respect for the fellow podcast guy. But I think it should be, anyone but Melka Sr., anyone but Barn, that works too.
Anyone but Barn,
for
yeah.
the entirety of the offseason.
I'm doing it right now.
Are you actually?
I'm
actively
doing it
changing his
as
name
we
in
speak.
the filming.
As we speak.
Bro's stalling as he's typing very slowly. I'm refreshing the fucking...
We got one. We're on the path. But in other words, while he's changing his name, we had our third place game between the two podcast guys. And I think Mr. Snake, I think you get the short end of the stick here again. Such a promising year, and you just keep falling from grace.
I had one of the worst Decembers known to mankind in fantasy,
The
in
fall offs were
life,
quite large.
in work, in a lot of ways. It was a pretty bad December, and you know, it's not really to the fault of the players on my team. Not entirely. I'm not gonna say they helped me, but I did not help them at all. Pretty much every game I made the wrong decisions. Pretty much every game I had an optimum that was 60, 70 points more than I actually put up. So, just bad management. I'm an idiot. I get it. Moving on.
How do you feel
Moving
about
on.
securing the third place spot, Mr. Melka?
Well, it's better than I've done the last couple years, so I'll take it. Um,
He's
but
humble.
it honestly,
Fucker.
the big thing is it doesn't really matter for me because I don't have a first or second round draft pick. So as far as pick position, it doesn't really matter for me. Um, but you know what? I'll take the third place role and hope to make it better next year.
I am really sad about the humble game winning.
Right?
Why is
My
that?
dude, my quarters put way more fear into other people than my
True.
fucking team did. The second anyone heard, oh yeah, I'm betting on you, they're like, fuck,
Yep.
I'm done. I'm done.
That's true.
Nah, didn't work.
Your
We'll see how it pans out next year with my quarters, but
your quarters scared the shit out of people this year. You are 100% correct. I'll take third place. Like it was a good season. It was up and down for me. Barely made it into the playoffs to start with.
Right.
So,
So taking third is pretty good.
right. Taking down Toilet Snake always feels good.
Wow. A little bit of in-house beef, huh?
you know what?
I couldn't take
The,
down
la- you
Dad,
know
so
the
I had
last
to take down
hold
you.
on. The last 3 years, people would have said they felt bad for taking me down. So it's probably a good thing that you're saying that. Probably a good thing.
That's fair.
But moving on, we'll get to our toilet bowl. We had Pineapple versus Deflated. The game that we really all cared about this past week. No one cared about that championship game.
Fair enough.
Pineapple getting the win, showing us his true potential. The stuff that he probably should have showed all season long,
I
but you know what? He put up a 258 to end the year. It's a pretty good number.
absolutely beat the living hell out of deflated balls in this game. And the best part is he started Caleb Williams, who only had 4.5 points.
Mm.
It was
Yeah,
just
that's
the rest of
wild.
his team. The rest of his team said, "We'll carry you."
I didn't even look at this game. Hold up. Hold up.
It's wild. Henry, monster game. Connor didn't do shit. Devonta Smith, monster game. Lad McConkey, monster game. McMillan, good game. Travis Kelsey finally put up a 22-point game. And then his defense was just solid across the board, -1. So it just, yeah, absolutely beat the living hell out of Deflated. And if his players don't retire in the off season,
Got a
he
chance.
should have a very good team next year. I mean,
Got a chance.
his receivers are all gonna stick around. I mean, Devonta
Oh,
Smith is still
dude.
young. Lad McConkey is a rookie. I mean,
Yeah, Lad McConkey had a great year for his
yeah,
rookie
he
year.
did.
Pineapple's 2 swaps from a perfect game. That's crazy. Well done.
What were his?
Next year he's gonna
Oh,
get
CJ
Olave
Stroud
back
with
too.
5 points. Yeah, I'll get Olave back. Yeah,
It was Isaiah Garundo or whatever, and
Isaac
CJ
Garendo?
Stroud.
yeah.
Huh?
Isaac Garendo, former
Isaac
Badger,
Garundo.
former
Former
UW
Badger.
Badger.
It's not my fault. His name sounds like an Italian salad, dude. Okay.
Wow, that's some shit.
he has Keon Coleman too. That'll be an interesting interesting to see how that moves forward with him as well.
Eh.
All I'm hearing,
His
after all
receivers
that-
are good. It's just are his running backs gonna retire with Derrick Henry, James Conner, and CMC?
all I'm hearing about all that is Pineapple rooting for you next season, man. You
Congrats.
might not have been able to push through this year to the playoffs, but next year, man, I already got you penciled in now.
Congrats on winning the most beautiful trophy of all. This beautiful golden toilet.
You just want to get out of your apartment.
apartment.
You just want to get it out of your apartment. We understand.
It's a beautiful trophy, man.
All right, and then our last game, we got a recap here before the sad end of the season for us. Is our scrimmage match, basically our third place for the toilet bowl. We didn't get to iron this one out in our last episode because the games weren't quite done yet with the holiday. Weird timing, whatever. But our third place for the toilet bowl game, we had End Zone versus Concussors. End Zone getting the close win for third place in the toilet bowl.
Yeah, I didn't actually look at the game here. And,
I don't know why he's. I mean, this game did not matter
yeah.
at all.
How dare you?
I'll
It
preface
mattered to
this.
them.
I'll preface this. This game did not matter at all. But why the fuck is he starting Aaron Rodgers over Jaden Daniels right now?
Oh
Oh my gosh.
Lord.
Aaron
Bro,
Rodgers
put up
had
negative
negative
1.5
1.5. And Jaden Daniels put up 39. Yeah, he would have won. But no, like you said, this game does not matter. He won anyways, despite of that. So, yeah.
Custer's still feeling more pain than any of us will ever feel in our life. End zone gods still proving that him and Deflated are pretty much the same exact team.
Yeah. We have to give the bet between Concussors and Pineapple to Pineapple now, right?
Well, we gave it to them last week after Pineapple
Yeah.
made it to the toilet bowl
But
and the other
now
guy
it's
did not.
for sure. Now it's
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure Pineapple, right?
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. There's nothing else to talk about this game. It did not matter. Let's go. Let's go.
Fair enough. We'll just keep moving then. On that note, we have our year-end reactions because obviously there's no goddamn trades this week. But
Could you imagine?
it'd be hilarious. Trade, just open them up for 2 days right now.
Yeah,
Five trades come through.
post championship.
Post championship, so it wouldn't affect anything.
Right.
Just do it now. But no, instead of that, we got our reactions for the season. Just general stuff because we're thinking about doing another episode to give our final reactions for the year, and we'll go over our beginning of the year predictions and see how wrong we were. But just general things, boys. What's your overall reaction to this season?
As much as everybody hates it, the Melka Trophy returns home.
So is that you saying that or your dad?
Yes. I mean,
You don't live there. It's not your home.
It's
I
not your
don't
home.
live
you
there
can't say
anymore.
it's returning home.
However, for the first 5 years of its life, that's where it lived.
Doesn't
But-
mean that's the home. Come on.
I mean, do you call the Lombardi Trophy home when it goes to Lambeau?
No.
I think every NFL team says the trophy's coming home whenever they win.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Now,
Melka
could it
Trophy's
apply
re-
more to
Here,
the Packers.
the Melka Trophy's returning to its homeland. How's that?
Wow.
Where it was
that's some
born.
cocky shit right
It
there.
is where it
Returning to
was born.
China.
It's returning to China.
Fucking made in China sticker. Right here.
We're all just dumbfounded that you actually kept applying that the trophy belongs at your dad's house. That's
A
crazy.
little bit, yeah.
I mean, like I said,
You're-
that's where it lived for the first 5 years of its life.
You're always trying to separate yourself from the anyone but Melka trend.
Right.
But here you are, you're like, yep, it belongs.
It's home, baby.
Collusion. You and Papa Melka are farming a team together still.
There it
That's
is.
what it is. See, Kyle was the in on the freaking podcast, and he all benefited Barn.
That was
We're
it.
there.
That was it.
Big brain.
So that's why he's been on the last 4 episodes and not because everyone else
Think
was too
about it.
scared to do anything.
Think about it.
Yep.
Think about it, right? We always joked about the podcast giving the buff for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the one who's been here all the time in the playoffs. It's been Barn. And who won it all? Barn.
Yep.
Brother was on
Damn.
for the entire episode last week. No, sorry,
2
2 weeks
weeks
ago.
ago.
And that gave him the push to win
Yep.
it all. Telling you.
Yeah, you're
Man,
probably right.
we're worried about the humble game versus the quarter bet.
Yeah.
But the strongest X factor
Is the
has been the
podcast
podcast
buff.
You know what? If anyone can take anything out of this episode of the podcast, because, this is ridiculous. But if anyone can take anything good out of this, to the people in the league, come on the podcast. You will win your week.
Yep. Come on the podcast and you will have a monster week that you will have no idea how it happened.
This is true.
But on that note, I'll get my 2 cents in here. I think this was a hell of a season for sure. I mean, my first time really kind of getting an insight on the year and like the teams and stuff and what to expect. A lot of ups and downs for me, Mr. Trade Guy. Kind of living on the roller coaster throughout the season, and now
Well,
it's
the
been downhill for weeks. But
you had it all at the beginning.
did.
You had it
I had
all.
everything.
Everyone got hyped up.
I was
beginning of
looking
season.
forward to every Monday, Tuesday night. Okay.
Trade slowly died down, and then it was like maybe one every 3 weeks.
And then there was
I
just
had a
your
whole-
pity trade, Austin.
Either way.
11th
Either
for the 11th.
Yeah.
Hey, I won that trade. I won it.
Either way,
Technically, yeah.
I had a whole lot of fun watching this throughout the entire year. I hope you guys did too.
I did for sure. It's a lot of fun doing this.
On that
I
note,
did too. I hope if we come back next year and we decide open chat room that more than one person shows up.
more than just somebody shows up.
We're not gonna bite nobody. I don't think we've ever bitten anyone in the past.
I don't
Been
think
mean
so.
to anyone that's come on the podcast. Just
It's all
come
friendly
come
banter.
hang out. It's fun. It's fun.
We'll save that for next episode in our kind of year-end review. We'll really push everyone to come on, but to finish up our regular, let's just call it the regular episodes, our recap episodes. We do have the victor.
Mm-hmm.
We have the guy who's receiving all the spoils coming in for an interview. We will see you on the other side.
Welcome into this week's interview, I guess we're going to call it, because we don't have a game of the week, obviously, because, games are over. But we have Austin here with me.
Bye.
I played against him.
Whoa.
I beat him.
We all know.
But I also have the champion of the league.
Yay, me!
There was much hatred against this man, which
Was
then spread to me. Yeah, I'm sure there's not. I'm sure there's more now, but
no, it's still gone. It's all
welcome
washed
in
away.
again, Dad. League of Ordinary Gentlemen champion ×5. The Melka Trophy returns home.
Oh, it's been so long. If Craig wouldn't have had it at work at his desk this year, I might have forgotten what it looks like. It's, I was looking at it, and it's been 7 years since I won it. The last time I won it, there's 6 plaques on that trophy since then, but it's actually 7 years because we had the COVID year where we didn't claim a champion.
To be fair, you also had it in the house the year I won it.
That's true. But not since my name's been on it, I said. So while everybody's not happy with me, so to speak,
Anybody but Melka.
it's kind of unfounded because it's not like I've won half of the championships or anything. I'm less than that.
Yeah, you're a little
You
less
still
than
won the
half.
most by
You're a
by
little less than half of the wins in a 12-team league.
Yeah. 5 out of let's see, 5, 11, 5 out of 12 years is less than 50%.
Yeah, in a 12-team league. There
again,
are 11
can't-
other teams that want to win that thing, and you have won it five times. That is selfish.
I can't control the first 4 years. After the so the first year or two, my record was not the best in the league. My record was got into the playoffs, and I made all the right moves and won the championship. The next 2 years, after that, I had a good record. I think I was maybe 11-2 both the third and fourth years I won the championship. But the first year I think I was like 8-5. It wasn't like I was this dominant team. I just happened to have the highest scores at the end of the season. This year I can't exactly say the same thing. This year I was pretty dominant all season. I was kind of looking at it, and I had only 4 games that I scored less than 200 points.
Mm-hmm.
And of those, only 2 of them I actually lost. So it was a good year. It was a good year for my team. It was a good year for my players. They were most of them were healthy most of the year. I lost a couple guys here and there. I lost what was supposed to be one of my top receivers early, and he was out all year. But in the end, it all worked out as I had hoped that I would reclaim the title and get to have the trophy back.
That's got to be one of the biggest testaments to a successful fantasy season is just being healthy, right? I mean, It's been, the last, 2-3 years where every year it just seems to be that you and Diamond Dogs or Nick have just been completely, slammed with terrible injuries that destroyed your team.
Yeah, there's definitely been teams in the league that when you looked at their roster, you're like, oh my God, these guys are going to be so good. And then half their roster is injured, and you're like, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it as an owner. There's nothing you can do about it as a league. And again, this is why we were talking about we're adding at least an IR spot to try and alleviate a little bit of that pain. But if you get multiple injuries, it's still going to hurt.
Yep.
You know where you screwed up?
What's up?
Winning the Super Bowl after Papa Melka won 4 consecutive. If you waited, if there was a 2-year gap, you would not be pinned in the anyone but Melka thing. But because you won right after he went on a tear, you're pinned in that discussion. I'm just telling you, that's the reason.
And it probably didn't help that in 2016 he and I played against each other.
In the Super Bowl, yeah.
And it didn't help that for the whole, at least first year, a lot of the league thought that Dad was just running 2 teams.
Yeah, they did.
I heard everyone tried to veto when you traded Breeze to him.
Yeah. And was that the same trade that we were trading Lamar Miller, Dad?
I don't remember.
There was a trade where I was trying to give him Lamar Miller, and it got vetoed 3 times.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it used to be very difficult for me to try and make a trade, because if I could get somebody to agree to one, most of the league would cancel it. Because the theory was if I was doing a trade, the only reason I was doing a trade was to make my team better.
Which is
let's think about
usually
this.
how it goes.
Why else would you do a trade?
Yeah.
So everybody was kind of the opinion, well, if he's making his team better, we're not going to let that shit happen. But overall, the structure of the league, I think, paid off. I think our managers are maybe a bit more observant and active than maybe in the beginning when I did win so many championships in a row. Because there were times where I was picking guys up that, I like to think, oh, I saw them before other guys did, and that's why I got them. But maybe people just didn't pay as much attention to the waivers as they do now. Because I would pick players up that I wanted to give myself credit for, seeing a guy early on and grabbing him before anybody else did. And I think that did happen sometimes, but I look at now how difficult it is to try and get a guy that maybe he's had a good week and then a down week and then another good week or two, but there's say for a receiver, for example, you see all of a sudden his pass attempts going towards him have increased steadily. And, you're like, okay, I think this guy's gonna break out or gonna be somebody, and you try and grab him. Well, if you've been winning, there's 3 guys in front of you that are grabbing him also. It's like, oh shoot, I didn't pull the trigger early enough, So you really almost have to you have to be faster than the actual trend. You have to be faster than the indicators that are saying somebody's good. There's a little bit more. I don't know, maybe people have other resources other stats they're looking at, and they're grabbing guys before even I'm thinking about grabbing them, which is good for the league. Bad for me, of course, but good for the league.
I think the problem is some of these guys have like a crystal ball or something.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
Austin with Puka Nacua.
Oh yeah,
that was huge. I mean, huge,
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely huge.
Nico, that was
Nico
more
too.
crystal ball than Puka.
I mean,
Puka had 15 fucking catches in week 1. Everyone gunned for him.
True.
Just think though, like if that's a guy you don't get, how different is your team?
Very different.
And let's say that's a guy that Nick gets or Slap gets. How much more dominant does that make their team? You know what I mean?
I don't think Nick destroys his whole team because we called them old.
Right, but you know what I mean?
Probably not.
It's kind of one of those deals, and it's like when you're a good team and you get that guy. Oh my gosh, the capabilities,
Or even if you're like a bad team, it's gonna help you in the long run, like me.
Right. So now I'll be coming into this next draft. I don't think I traded away my first round pick for this coming season, so I'll have the 12th pick, and hopefully I grab a diamond in the rough or grab somebody who's going to be a diamond anyway and pays off, and I find myself in the playoffs again next season.
I hope I grab the guy that you want. What pick do I have?
You ended in 4th, so you'll have the 1-9.
1-9. Ew.
Yeah, you'll have the 1-9. You
The
had the
101 is so much more fun.
You had the 1-9 last year.
No, I didn't. I had the 1-2.
Yeah, you had the 1-9 from me.
No, I had the 1-7 from you. Thanks.
Was it the 1-7?
Was it the 1-9?
I think it was the 1-9.
No, it was the 1-7 because Big Boy
remember.
was 106. He was right before me.
I could probably trade you my 112 and like Ridley or Thielen.
No.
Or maybe even throw in like James Cook or something.
Nope.
And you give me
Nope.
You give me like Puka, and then you can trade the 1-9 pick and the 112 pick, and Nico, and move up to the 1-1 if you wanted. I bet you with those 2 first-round picks and Nico, you could get the 1-1.
Yeah, but then I'm losing like 2 of my fucking receivers.
That helps me next year with you not being competitive. Come on now.
I don't care. Okay, Puka's not leaving my team. He's like the one guy that's there forever, okay? I don't care if he's gonna suck.
Right, we all have those guys. Like you'll get there may come a point where you're like, all right, I'm gonna let this guy go, but there may not, I keep teasing Slap. I said, so when are you gonna trade me Jefferson or Lamb? When are you gonna trade me Jefferson or Lamb? He's like, I'm not trading Jefferson or Lamb. I'm like, a day will come.
So you won the championship.
Yep.
Now's your time to gloat. Now's your time to go ahead and speak to the anyone but Melka crowd. What do you got to say to them?
I don't know. It's not really my style. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have 5 trophies next to my name. I haven't done it yet, but I will be editing it. There might be a photo or something posted on Discord with when I get the trophy back that's got my name on it, starting a new side, because it'll be starting a new side of the trophy
Oh boy.
So maybe we can make a run of that and have my name up there a couple times.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I mean, I it worked out. My team put up a lot of points at the right times to end the season, and in the championship game, it was kind of a flip flop score of the first meeting. I scored one. I look back at that, and I scored 178 to Big Boy's 220. I think it was our first meeting, and during the regular season, and then this time around, he scored the 178, and I scored the high end points. So I'm just happy happy Pineapple was playing in it for a different game than I was.
Yeah, Pineapple had a crazy game.
Just want to give a shout out to Pineapple for winning the toilet bowl, and happy to see the potential your team actually has. I'll make sure I get you that trophy as soon as I retrieve it from Kyle and get your name on the plaque.
Is he going to be dangerous next year?
I think so.
I don't know how he can be unless some of these guys that he acquired this year decide not to play football anymore.
Yeah, I think Henry will play next year. Unless the Ravens win the Super Bowl. If the Ravens win the Super Bowl, he might retire.
Well, but then does he get McCaffrey back?
McCaffrey could retire.
He could.
I think receiver-wise, he's set. I mean, Fricky's got McConkey.
He's blown up.
He picked up McMillan. What's Tampa Bay going to do? Is McMillan going to go back to being the 3 guy, or is he going to be the number 2 guy still?
It depends on if Godwin stays with the team.
He's got Smith, who's young. And this is just the thing. I think we can do this on every team. We can look at every team and go, he's got this guy, he's got that guy, he's got this guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's about, okay, you've got 5-star players, but you're starting 14. What's the other 9 look like?
Right.
Yeah.
And what do your injuries look like? And what do your matchups look like? You can have the best receivers and have bad matchups in a week, and you lose to somebody that you would never.
Jonathan Taylor put up 52 points out of nowhere. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And like I was looking at the championship game scores, and let's face it, Higgins did to Big Boy what CeeDee Lamb did to me last year.
Yeah.
The game was a bit closer. CeeDee put up that huge game, and I ended up losing by whatever it was, 15 or 20 or whatever it was. The margin was different this year. But if you look at Big Boy's players, his 3 running backs and 2 receivers put up a combined 50 points. You're not going to win that week.
Right.
It's just how it goes. What were the odds? I was blessed with my guys having scored points. I had one of my running backs and my quarterback both didn't play 4 quarters. They sat out the 4th quarter of their games. That could have been costly to me. The fact that Detroit had no reason to play St. Brown, yet they chose to. They could have easily said, you know what, we don't need you till next week. We're going to have you sit out this week. But they decided to play him.
Papa Melka, is it kind of sad that no one's actually handing you the championship money?
No, not really. It's to me, it's not about the money. It's about winning the trophy. And so I work with, several of the owners in the league. So Craig brought the trophy down from his office, and he had "We Are the Champions" playing on his phone, and presented the trophy to me in front of everybody, even people in the shop that aren't part of the league. So it was actually kind of a fun moment. In regards to the money, the people that have been in the league for a while, they know this, or maybe they will recall it. But I generally donate the money. I don't keep it. I'll keep enough to pay for my season next year, but then the rest of it goes to charities. It just depends on what the charity is. Sometimes I'll drop it in the thing at church. Sometimes I've given it to the food pantry to go buy whatever they need. But yeah, I usually don't keep the winnings. I usually donate them.
Aww. So. How can anyone hate this man? How dare you guys throw the anyone but Melka campaign out there? What the heck?
Yeah, well, for me, this is all about fun. The money is a thing just to, I guess, keep people involved. But I like winning the trophy.
All right, Dad, one last thing to wrap this up for the actual interview. As the commissioner,
Yep.
the season's over. We're wrapping it up. We've got one more idea for a podcast next week.
Okay.
And then we're going to be wrapping up with the podcast, we think, for the season. How do you feel everything went this year? And do you have any major takeaways from the season?
I thought I thought the season was good. I loved the competition. I loved how active everybody was with keeping their rosters updated and trying to grab players and making trades to try and improve their teams. I liked how more or less balanced the league was. You had a couple teams on top and a couple teams on bottom, and then everybody else was in the mix in the middle. So I liked that a lot. I think next year adding an IR spot's going to help everybody a little bit. We're going to get the league shut down here, and we'll open it back up probably July-ish would be my guess, to people start making trades and everything. And we'll hopefully have another good year next year. I haven't heard anything about anybody not wanting to come back next season, so we should have at least as of right now, we'll have the same group of owners. So should be good. I thought it was a good season. I had fun. I felt like the podcast added another piece to the league, which made it just a little bit more entertaining. Hopefully next year people are a little less afraid, or maybe more willing to get on the podcast, or maybe your guys' schedule will be a little bit more flexible and you'll have more opportunities.
Yeah, come on, we can't have Papa Melka on every week, guys.
Well, right.
Need
Well,
some help here.
But maybe you guys, as the hosts and stuff, will be like, okay, we have 3 days this week we can do it instead of 3 hours that we can do it. You know what I mean? And in that regard, your schedules are, what they are as well. But and maybe, I like the regarding the podcast, I like the the game of the week selections and trying to get the owners on. And maybe that's something that changes next year a little bit. Maybe you do the game of the week and try and get owners on, but if you can't get owners on, you pick a different game that you got 2 owners that are willing to come on. But yeah, overall I thought the season was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
And with that, we will wrap up this interview, unless you got anything else, Austin or Dad.
No, I ain't got nothing.
Nope. Just say congrats to everybody on another season, and I will get the financials sorted out here in the next few days, and I'll have Kyle be sending some money to those who Venmoed, and I'll hand cash over to people that I actually physically see.
Oh my God, I actually won money this year, I think.
You did.
Wow, that's crazy.
You get a couple bucks.
I like a couple bucks.
Yep.
Cool. Well, in that case, we'll wrap it up. And yeah, have a good night. Thanks for joining.
All right, not a problem, guys.
Bye.
Well, I want to thank our champion, I guess I can call him now,
Yep.
Barn Burners, for coming on and having a chat. I did find it very funny that apparently the trophy was presented to him at work. That's hilarious to me. That's
We are the champions.
I mean, what a cool way to get presented the trophy though at work where a lot of the other guys are.
Yep.
Kind of rub it in their face. It's good. It's good. It's a good way to do it.
Someone should have put that on video. We could have tagged it at the end of this.
Oh, that would
Right,
have
we
been
should have
awesome.
should have had it
Yeah.
in the back of the podcast.
Uh,
That's year 1 of the log pod in the books. I wanna say
Stands one
thank you.
episode next week.
Well, for the season's over. We'll do a recap episode. The
Yeah.
season's over. So we can say that season 1 of the log pod there. Happy now?
Sure.
Is in the books. All I want to say is thank you to everyone who hung on and listened weekly with us. We
Mhm.
appreciate the hell out of you. Anyone who was vocal in the Discord, keeping chatting, we appreciate the hell out of you. Anyone who came on the podcast, we really appreciate it.
Yep.
We know it was all kind of a big new thing, and it's kind of a jump to put yourself out there, so we really appreciate if you ever came on or had a chat with us. That's just my end, though. I'm sure
Oh,
the
yeah.
guys share the same
Yep.
memento there.
It was
But,
a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun. We're going to do another episode next week, so keep your eye out for that. We're going to do a little recap and a little look back at our predictions from the beginning of the season.
See
and
how
we'll put a
stupid
nice-
we were.
We'll put a nice bow on this this season of the Log Pod, but that's next week. We'll cry then.
We'll cry then.
But until then, we appreciate it. We appreciate you listening, and we will see you next episode. See ya.
Later.
What a wonderful day!